Hey there everybody, welcome back for another video. This one is going to be focused on Jiren. It's going to be my very first ever character guide, so hopefully I don't butcher this too much. I'm not going to talk too much during this video. I'm pretty much just going to show a lot of combos, but I do need to get some stuff out of the way since Jiren is fairly unique in a lot of things that he does. So I wanted to go over a good bit of stuff before we actually get straight into it. So the first thing that I'm going to go over is that his 2L, which is his crouching light attack, is actually a bit different than what other characters you see. So for Trunks and somebody else like that, in fact I think pretty much everybody else, their light attack that is a low does the same damage as a standing one, and you can see that for Vegeta as well. But for Jiren specifically, it does the same as a medium attack. So his standing light is 400 and his crouch light is actually going to be 700. So when I first started doing combos and whatnot, I was actually a bit confused because I was coming up a little bit short for a bit of damage. But that is something that you're going to want to incorporate with your block strings or whatnot, is that you're going to want to do a 2L in there. So you're going to kind of have something like that. So something else to note as far as for block strings and whatnot, since I don't know another character that actually has this, I'm almost certain that Jiren's the only character, but his heavy is actually a grab. So if you hit the B button, or if you're on PlayStation 4 and you hit that circle button, the heavy is going to be a command grab. So that's pretty unique, but you definitely can't do that typical progression from light, medium to heavy and then you go into the grab, because of course the grab is extremely slow, especially this one. I'm pretty sure it's one of the slowest ones in the game. As far as for other stuff, so his 2H also is a side swap, so that's a little bit interesting. So you can see that there, that whenever that he does that, he pops them the opposite way. And of course you can follow up on that as usual. And then let me make sure that he set the super dash. Of course it is an anti-air in that way. And then getting into the next part of this is also for his jump 2H. It is not a typical kick like most characters. It is going to be the spin. He's kind of going to slam them down. So if you actually hit somebody with that, then it is going to knock them down, considering that it's in a combo after a launcher. Now this does do more damage if you hold it, so that I'm aware of. I don't think there's a middle portion of it for damage. So there's that 850 if you just hit down 2H, and then if you hold it, then it can do up to 1000 damage, and that is 100% a sliding knockdown, no matter kind of when you do it. So you could do that randomly and then you have that. And then other stuff for that is going to be with his specials. So the S for, I guess, fighting name annotation, which is going to be the A button on Xbox, as well as the, what would that be on PlayStation 4? So it's square, triangle, circle. It's not the X button, is it? No, it is the X button. The X button on PlayStation 4 is going to be these key blasts, and those are going to be important for launching and kind of extending with your combos. So you have the forward one, which is going to be just jump S, and then you have a 2S, which is going to actually shoot it downward. So you'll be able to incorporate that in the corner and whatnot for doing certain things for combos in ways like this. And then you can go into the slam. So some stuff like that, for example, is ways that you would want to use that. Another really interesting thing is for his blast. He really doesn't have any key blast with outside of being in the air. So if you do a grounded special, then you're going to get this launcher here, and there's really no good way to go into anything besides that, unless that you actually go into a vanish. So unfortunately you can't follow up on something like that for other characters. I know that you could maybe do some sort of follow-up if you're in the corner. Jiren, you can kind of do the same thing and go into super dash. But and then one of the last things to kind of note here is going to be for his 2S, which is going to be his down and key blast. Now notice that it does kind of shoot out of his hand. It's not just right in the palm of his hand. So if you have a character that's a little bit further away, it will actually catch them. So it kind of repositions them, and that is an anti-air. So if you wanted to kind of keep them on the same side, how most characters do for a 2H, then that's an option. But of course that's only on the ground, so just keep that in mind as well, that you're not going to be able to go in the air and then do a 2S, because that's going to be the downward motion for that. So I'm going to go ahead and put together a few combos that I was able to come up with. As far as for most of them, they are going to be able to be used mid-screen and on the corners. So if that is the case, then I'm going to just note it one time, and then I will just put a little annotation or just a little note by it saying this is mid-screen and corner possible. There's going to be kind of a lot of medium combos that I'm going to put here, since I feel that most of them are kind of in the middle. in terms of the difficulty once you kind of get a grasp of how Jiren flows, and then the harder ones are what I would say a little bit harder, and they're pretty much almost all in the corner, but you'll see what I mean for all that stuff. So anyways, alright, well, we'll get straight into it, and hopefully this helps you out, so enjoy the video.